Joe in real life. I'm in my cul-de-sac with my Pokemon cup. Drinking instant today. It's gross. And today's day 300. Um, in actuality, it's closer to day 500. But 300 days ago, I had a relapse. And I missed a couple days of squat every day. So I had to start over. Which is okay, man. It's okay. I'm really happy today. I slept really well. My training's going well. Over the last 300 days, I've had some serious ups and downs. And what's the takeaway? I said serious ups and downs. Mostly downs. Mostly downs that I've climbed back up to a baseline to and then fell down again over and over. So what have I learned, right? That's the question. You go through stuff changes you, and then you emerge, hopefully stronger, but that's not really a guarantee. I learned that you have to be kind to yourself. You have to be generous, and you have to be kind to yourself as much as anyone else, maybe more. And that this isn't an ideal that we pursue. This is a law, Because if you don't have some mercy, some charity, some pity for yourself, and you can't extend some kindness to you, you will be forced to down the road. And because of that, this becomes practical and not idealistic. I had to learn that the hard way. I didn't extend myself a reprieve numerous times through the last 300 days. And before the 300 days, I failed to too, which is, well, I relapsed because I'm an addict. But the accoutrement, the adjacent factors that pushed me in that direction largely stemmed from me failing to be kind to myself. Failing to show some generosity of spirit and some mercy when I was struggling. I think I've learned this lesson, or I'd like to think so. I'm certain I'll make mistakes on it again in the future. But I feel like it's integrated now in a way it hasn't been before. The last 300 days has taught me that. And by proxy, so have you, right? So thank you. It's a hell of a thing, Today's still a work day, doesn't matter. But it's a hell of a thing. And by extension, in what way will I be kind to myself? Well, I was going to force 2 squat workouts a week, starting this week. Because I'm doing the Power to the People plan for the other movements. And I'm not starting that right away. I may start it next week, or I may push it even longer. One a week is good for now. Being that I squat every day, having a serious focused squat workout once a week is fine. Especially now that I've added the running back. I do plan to in the future, but I may even wait till my next cycle, Also, I have sleepy eyes. Look at how old and sleepy I am. It's good. It's good. Life is good. I'm grateful for all of you. I really am. This journey's been awesome. Many of you who regularly watch this channel, I'm happy to count among my friends, even my very best friends. And I just love doing this so much, And I'm so happy we're sharing it together. Today, power to the people and squats. Same as it ever was. Day 300. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you soon. So I figured I'd show you the whole workout. It took almost exactly 30 minutes. These are my front squats up to my daily minimum. My one arm deadlifts, which I did rack pulls with 135 today. Way too heavy for my wrist, but way too light for a proper deadlift workout. They were really fun, but you'll see when I'm pulling them, they were wildly out of control. And then I did waiter presses with a 25-pound plate, kneeling waiter presses. Part of what I'm trying to target here is wrist stability. You know, I've got the juice to move heavier weight, but my weak links are really weak. And so I got to dial back. I got to dial back on poundages and work on stability, work on strength. What's another word for it? Constitution, right? You know, I need that neuromuscular response to be precise, and it just simply isn't. I have a similar issue with my right leg. You know, my displaced hip kind of gets janky. My foot position on the right side is never exactly correct, and you know, that's over the last 300 days, that's part of this game. Like, I'm not striving to be some great weightlifter or some great hybrid athlete or some fitness influencer. This is a journal. And in this journal, I'm recording like how I deal with these frustrations, these mechanical issues, these laziness issues, that are just component to who I am as a person, you know? 300 days. Last week I was reviewing some of my videos and just kind of laughing at myself, just kind of laughing at the things that I come up with and think that's appropriate to talk to you all about. And I mean, it isn't that it's inappropriate. It's just funny how, like, here I am walking around my cul-de-sac talking to you like we're in the same room together. But it's even weirder than that because it's like I'm giving a speech or something. And that's all fine and good. Like, okay, pretty weird, but also that's the way social media has sort of curated us as a people. The weird part, the really weird part, it feels completely natural. I am completely at home right now. I'm both literally, physically at home, but nothing about this feels contrived or forced or performative. I'm just talking. I'm just talking to my friends about talking to my friends. A little meta discussion, right? I do want to thank Ivan. You know, he got me started on this. And Ivan is a very good weightlifter. And I am a very poor one. And part of what was intriguing to me was, like, I wanted to see if this was compelling for someone that's not good at lifting weights, right? And it turns out it is. Like, that's another thing I noticed when I was reviewing my videos. It was like, I like this guy. I like this guy doing these reports. Like, and that guy's me, you know? And I think he's a good dude. I think he's a good dude who gets in his own way a lot. But a good dude nonetheless. And yeah, back to the theme, you know? Can you extend kindness to yourself? And do you recognize that if you don't, you will be forced to? Like, do we all really want that crisis moment? Or you could also call it that transcendent moment, if you're a little more optimistic, where you have no choice but to be nice to you. Do you really want a moment like that forced on you? Because it's waiting in the future, you know? For me as well, like, I have a spotlight shined on this aspect of what I do. But there are all sorts of other areas of my life that I'm not aware that if I just, like, release the reins a little bit, it would go a lot better for me. But instead, I'm pushing. I got my shoulder to the wheel and I'm pushing hard into it. And like, occasionally you break through and you get something good for your effort. That's great, you know? But more often than not, you just get wasted. You just harm yourself. You harm people around you. And yet we still do it because we remember the times it succeeded. That's called observational bias, right? You know, if I knock on the wall 3 times and the light goes on, I think there's some connection between knocking on the wall and the light going on. And there may very well be, but it also might just be chance. And I realize that example is probably random and ridiculous, but you get the idea, you know? We make associations with success, and these associations are not always grounded. We want them to be, you know? It's like when you read a horoscope and it's spot on. You know, you're like, oh wow, I'm a Taurus, and it says Taurus is going to have this and this and this, and that's exactly what I'm planning today. Astrology must be real, right? And Jesus, maybe there is even something to it. But you didn't read the last 300 horoscopes that were wildly off base or insultingly general, you know? You just read the one. You just read the one that told you what you wanted to hear. And I think a lot of life goes that way. I think a lot of what we do and how we do it is powered by observational bias. And I'm not even sure that's a negative thing. But it's not accurate, you know? It doesn't have to be toxic to be inaccurate, right? So this rack pull I'm doing is just a couple inches off the ground. 135 on the bar, 60 kg, I guess. And I just did this for novelty's sake. This is not really where I'm working with this. As you can see, the pull itself is completely fine. Like, I have more than enough gas to pull that weight. But you watch that bar jank all around. Yeah. Wrist stability. And that's why I thought to incorporate the waiter's presses today, which I'm going to do more of. I'm also thinking about a javelin press. Kneeling, it's a little harder. I'm using my other hand on my body to kind of have like a physical cue to make sure I'm bracing. And it works pretty well. You know, I'll sometimes push my fingers in the back of my belt too when I'm doing one arm stuff, so that I can feel the pressure in my abdominal moving out, making sure I'm safe and strong through there. I just got a text message while I was recording this and it distracted me mightily. And yeah, this workout is goofy and fun, you know? And I'll probably get 4 or 5 repetitions of it this week. I'm going to swap the exercises out a little bit here and there, just for my own amusement. But essentially, it's 2 sets of 5 for 2 exercises, and that's it. You try to do it 2 to 5 times a week, and Bob's your uncle, as our friends over the pond like to say. I think I'm done. Guys, 300 days. Thank you all so much. Your continued support and attention and feedback is a big part of what powers this. I love you guys, really, truly. And I'm having so much fun doing this. It seems like it would be burdensome to make a video and post it every day. It isn't. Like, there are days where I just don't have enough time to do it well. But most days, not most days, but, well, every day I look forward to it. And some days it's the funnest thing I do, you know? I think that's it. This is Joe in real life. Like I said, I love you guys. Be kind to each other today. Be kind to yourself. Where can you extend a little charity and a little mercy towards you? I'm going to be looking for those opportunities as well. And I'm going to try to be kind to my fellow man. Because we're all struggling, you know? And we struggle in silence, in secret. So people think we're just dicks, right? But we're not. We're hurting. And we don't know how to talk about it. See you tomorrow.